Here's my latest clock acquisition. It's a large European Mantel clock from the early 1900s, I would say circa 1910. And I call it European because I don't exactly know where it was made. It's either English or German. And Dennis Clocks has a Mantel clock that he doesn't know where it was made. And he uses the term of European clock, so I might do it as well. This clock runs for 8 days on a full winding, and it strikes on a big coiled gong using the rack and snail system. Gosh, I love that sound. It sounds almost exactly like a Gloria gong on a Gustav Becker wall clock. And that's what I would call the most beautiful sound in the galaxy. For me at least. An interesting feature of this clock is the small window below the dial. And you're able to see the pendulum swinging through it. Now it's a little more visible, it was a bit dark. It's a rather big pendulum. The clock retained its original dial with painted numerals and dots for the minutes and minute markers like 40, 45, 50 and so on. The hands were repainted, and you can see that right there in the center the paint has started to fail. There is some rust on the dial and some other scratches and that black thing in there, I don't know what that is. It has a special regulating arbor just above the 12. It's in decent shape, I would say. I would say that this is rather English than German. Also, this clock is of extremely good quality because of multiple reasons actually. First of all, you can see the carving on the case is just exquisite. It has a lot of details and overall it's in excellent shape. It has some chips here and there, but they're not really visible. And it's just a beautiful case. It has beveled glass. Here on the door you might be able to see the bevel right there. And down here on this window there's also beveled glass. Also, someone at some point replaced this foot right here because it probably broke, and now the clock kind of floats. As you might see in there, it kind of floats a little bit. The movement uses a Vienna dead beat escapement, or at least I think it's a Vienna dead beat escapement. You'll see it a bit later. And it also has a special system that allows you to push the clock backwards without damaging any existent part in the movement, without even scratching anything or bending a lever. You'll see it a bit later. It's a very smart system. Now the only thing I need to do is to kind of clean the ratchet wheels from the winding arbors and regulate it. Here is the key that came with the clock. It's not original. Here is the key from my Hermle Westminster chiming mantel clock, and you can see that they are identical. But it fits. On the back of the clock we have this circular door with a very interesting knob that looks like one of the screws that holds the seat board of my Junghans Westminster chiming wall clock in the case. And here is the good quality movement that looks to be British without any markings on it, apart from the serial number in there. That is 9511 and an 18 in there. That might be the pendulum length. There's nothing much to say about it. There's also the pendulum swinging. Now you're gonna see some clips from yesterday when I took the movement out for some inspection. Okay, so here's the movement inside the European mantel clock. And this is the empty case. It's a rather high quality movement with thick plates. The pillars that hold the plates together are fixed with a taper pin on the front and with screws on the back. You can see it has rack striking instead of countwheel striking. This is an older version of rack striking that does not allow you to push the clock backwards. I'll trigger it for ya. This movement uses a deadbeat escapement, a Vienna deadbeat escapement. Or at least I think that is a Vienna deadbeat escapement. I'm not completely sure. And here is the regulating arbor. Remember when I said that you cannot push this backwards? Well, actually you can, because after some further inspection I discovered that this movement is so high quality that you can actually push it backwards without damaging any part of the movement, without even scratching anything or bending anything. And I don't even need to explain, you just need to take a closer look at that steel part in there. So now I'm going to push it forward. And now I'm going to push it backwards. So take a look at that part. Yeah. So pushing this clock backwards is safe. And if you don't understand how this works, you can ask me in the comments, because I don't really feel like explaining it right now, and it's pretty easy to understand. I mean, just look at it. If it would focus. Yeah. Also, the regulating assembly on this movement does not allow some really fine regulation, because on the wheel that's linked with this regulating arbor, there's a tiny blade spring that you might be able to see, that one on the side in there, and that thing puts some pressure on the wheel and allows you to move it one tooth at a time. So this thing goes like this. If it would focus, please focus. Come on. Oh yeah. So you can see I can only move this one tooth at a time. That's something unusual, but it doesn't allow for some really fine regulation. Here's a better look at the deadbeat escapement and the wheel work. And before I put this clock together again, here's the pendulum. It's quite heavy and the bob has a lot of fingerprints on it, but I actually think that this is quite nice. I like those simple pendulums with brass bobs and gold gilt. If you made it this far, I would like to thank you for watching this whole video. I need to make shorter videos, like I have this problem. When I start saying something, I need to give the complete information. So yeah, I'll try to make shorter videos. Here's where it's gonna stay for now. It's right next to the Ansonia mantel clock. But I'm planning to get either a table or some shelves that I will put right next to the other clocks in there, so it will have a proper display. And yeah, that's it for today. See ya next time.